For 6 years, I couldn't walk into a gym without caffeine. Not wouldn't, couldn't. If I didn't have enough pre-workout in me before I trained, I would literally tell myself that the workout was already ruined before I even touched the bar. And I was a grown man whose performance was dependent on a powder. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why the supplement industry built this dependency inside of me and inside of you. And the 4 free things that you can do that actually control your body's hormones, energy, and vitality. And you're going to want to stay till the end because the last one is one that nobody talks about. So if you're tired of not making progress in the gym, I'm going to feed you all the sauce right here on what you need to be doing every day. But the supplement industry, they get kind of a backseat to big pharma. Big pharma gets all the, I would say, all the negative press when it comes to tricking consumers. But see, the supplement industry also profits off of you in a negative way. The supplement industry wants you to believe that all the answers to your fitness goals, your physique goals, to your energy goals are all sold in a powder or a pill. And see, this keeps you perpetually buying because you think it's the powder that's actually changing your body, changing your life, when really it's you. Because to actually lose weight, to actually build muscle, to actually change your physique and become a new man, you have to work up here. It has nothing to do with a powder, but when the supplement industry gets you dependent on that powder or that pill, just like Big Pharma does, then they have a customer for life. You're like, well, I was the one eating in a deficit. I was the one going to the gym, but hey, this creatine powder, man, this did all the work. It must really work. This is what I need. So then you're buying this creatine for life because you've built this false dependence on a supplement when it's really you that were doing the work, or it's you that has to do the work. Maybe you're not getting the results in the gym, then you have to tell yourself, no supplement is going to help me. It's all on me. It's all up here. And if you are getting results in the gym and you think that the supplement provided the results and you need it for the rest of your life, again, that's just the supplement industry tricking you because it wasn't the supplement that changed your physique, that made you lose weight. It was you. You ate in a caloric deficit, you went to the gym, and you worked your ass off. So it was you that did the work. And if you're looking for the answer, bro, it's not a quick answer. It's you that has to do the work. So if you're trying to make gains in the gym and it's not working, it's you that has to do the work. But I'm going to give you 4 free things that are actually going to make that easier. And these aren't any supplements. I'm not making any money off of this. And I'm talking to you because I was you. I was your basic office worker, working your 9 to 5, listening to those, what are they? The green supplements, the performance greens or athletic ones. You always hear that in the office on any podcast you listen to, any YouTube you listen to, you're hearing an athletic greens advertisement. And this was me just working a 9 to 5 in an office, disconnected from nature, from our ancestral roots. Like ancestral health, you have to think our ancestors, they weren't sick, they weren't fat, they didn't have a slow metabolism, they didn't need supplements to get them through their day, they didn't need caffeine to wake up, they just lived a healthy life. And that's because they were living how humans evolved to live. It's only been the last 100 years where we're going against nature. But anyways, you might think that supplements are the secret, but it's really nature that's going to be the secret. And we'll get into how to utilize those secrets later on in this video. But first, I kind of just want to go through the mindset of what you're thinking right now. If you've spent hundreds on pre-workout, protein bars or fat burners, and you're still not really where you want to be, your energy crashes mid-afternoon, let's say after you eat lunch at work, then you get that midday slump, you're falling asleep at your desk, You're in the gym, but you're not actually training. The gym kind of feels more like a walkthrough for you. Like you walk into the gym, you see the bench press. Oh, I'll go do a few bench sets. You see a pull-up rack. I'll go do a few pull-ups. But you're not actually training with true intention, okay? You're not training to actually like build your body. You're just going through the motions. And then you feel like something is fundamentally missing. Like when you go to the gym, you're like, I'm just not optimal. And the thing is, you're right. You're not optimal. And most of the men in this modern world are not 100% optimal, but we can get you there and it's pretty easy. So let's go into just more of like my story with supplements. So like I was saying, I was one of you. Like for 6 years, I could not train without caffeine. And again, it wasn't that I wouldn't, it was that like I couldn't. If you told me to go to the gym without having pre-workout, I would look at you like you're crazy, or I'd stop at a gas station to buy a Bang, a Ghost, one of those pre-made pre-workouts. I literally could not go to the gym if I did not have caffeine in my body. And then I started like my holistic arc and I started drinking black coffee instead of pre-workout. But again, I just replaced one form of caffeine for another, and it was still an addiction that I was relying on. Okay. As a man, I think if you need to rely on caffeine to go to the gym or to just get your day started, that's a weakness. Because let's say worst case scenario, you travel, you lost your wallet, there's no way you can get any coffee. You're in a different city, you can't get any caffeine. Your whole day's ruined. You're grumpy, you're going to have a headache, you're not going to be able to think straight without that caffeine, without that drug. And no man should have to rely on something like that just to basically function as a human. And that's where I was at. Like if I didn't get my caffeine before the gym or before work, I couldn't think, I'd have a headache, and it literally felt like I was missing something. And when I say down here, I was dependent and ashamed of it, this is why I was ashamed, because I just think as a man, you shouldn't have to rely on a substance to like get you out of bed and make you want to go like just live life that day, if that makes sense. And so for the past 2 years, I've been able to cut myself off of caffeine. I don't need it before the gym. I will say I do drink caffeine maybe once or twice a month, really depending on how that month is going, because now I use caffeine as like an Adderall. It's because I don't have that tolerance to it. So when I do take caffeine, man, it hits me hard like an Adderall. I'm focused, I have unlimited energy, and it's like a good clean energy. When I was drinking coffee every day, my heart would like beat with anxiety. But when you use it how you're supposed to use it every once in a while, caffeine is good, but you just don't want to be dependent on it like I was, or any other supplement for that matter. So what does the supplement industry actually sell you? So they sell you pre-workout, so that's just a stimulant dependency. They sell you whey protein, you're just masking poor nutrition. So you should be eating real nutrient-dense food, and that's what the beef stands for in Gym Tan Beef, is real whole nutrient-dense foods. None of these BS protein powders. And see, it's called a supplement because you're supposed to add a supplement, or the definition of a supplement is to be added onto something to complete something. So you're only supposed to add these supplements to make your nutrition better, your workout better. And you cannot say that when it comes to whey protein. Most of you, when you look at whey protein, you're thinking, oh, I can just drink this and I'll grow muscles. That is not the case. When you see all these bodybuilders like selling you this protein powder, they are selling you this protein powder, not telling you that they actually get all of their nutrition from whole foods. Like any bodybuilding pro you see on stage, they're getting their nutrition from whole foods and not from supplements. I promise you 100%. And if they are taking supplements, it's just a little bit to get them over that hump to fit whatever's not in their like natural diet. Fat burners, these are basically just like caffeine and things that will spike your cortisol and actually crash your testosterone, because see, while weightlifting spikes your your cortisol, it's a short-term spike and then it returns to zero, which is good for your testosterone. But when you spike it all day long, like hyping yourself up on these stimulants, making your heart just beat all day long, that's actually going to lower your testosterone, because when you're in a high state of cortisol all day long, cortisol is actually a hormone, and it's an anti-hormone to testosterone. So when you have high cortisol all day, you're not going to be able to produce testosterone. And then these stacks, they always have these promotions online. Like you get one creatine, one protein powder, and then a bundle of SARMs for $200 a month. Isn't that a great deal? And it's all just a scam, because you might think it's a good deal to get all of these in one bundle, but really the supplement company is making all the money on these supplements. It's so cheap to make these supplements. Like for a $60 protein powder tub for a 30-month supply, cost the supplement company like $5 to make that. So they're making all this margin on you just selling you bullshit. But this stack culture goes much deeper. I call it the stack culture trap. So they get men to walk into these nutrition stores, spend $200 a month so you feel good, you feel productive about what you're doing in the gym. You know, you're researching all these supplements, you think it's action, but it's really not, because what you have to understand is all these influencers promoting these peptides now and these supplements, they're all actually just making these videos to make it seem like you're researching supplements, but they're really just selling you supplements. You're not researching anything. They're just telling you what you want to hear. And then there's the ritual of taking them. So it's like, okay, I take my creatine, my pre-workout, my protein powder. It's like the ritual of taking them actually replaces the hardest thing of like going into the gym and actually working your ass off. Like that's the ultimate thing that you have to do. No supplement stack is going to bring you this magic physique. It's going into the gym and working your ass off. And if supplements make that easier for you, I guess that's one argument. But the thing is, it all comes down to you, no supplement. And then the thing is creatine is really the only supplement with really any evidence. It's really the only supplement that I would take now. I currently eat enough red meat every day to where I wouldn't have to take any creatine, but that's really the only supplement that shows any benefits to muscle gain, muscle energy, and actually brain function too. ATP, creatine has actually been shown to increase brain function as well. And one quote you can think about to summarize all of this is, you're not optimizing your biology, you're actually renting the feeling of it. So when you take these supplements, you feel like you're doing something, you feel like you're being a good gym bro, but you're really just wasting your money, bro. Nothing is gonna actually change hard work. But let's get into the 4 things that actually do work, and they're free. And you can use these, bro, to change your physique. And I hope you do, because we all need to ascend this year. So the 4 things are gym, tan, and beef. As you can guess, it's from my name. Now, I say 4 things because I'm throwing in sleep with tan, so sleep with sunlight. So it would be heavy lifting, sunlight, sleep, and animal-based nutrition, but I'm throwing in sleep with tan because when you get outside in the sun, you actually set your circadian rhythm, and you're going to set yourself up for better sleep just by getting more sun exposure. So that's why sleep is in tan. That's 4 things, but we're going to break it down into the 3 things of gym, tan, beef. So let's start with the first one, gym. Now, when you go into the gym, again, I've said this like plenty of times in this presentation, but you have to go train like a warrior. No supplement is going to give you muscles. So go into the gym and train like a warrior and not a consumer. You see, these heavy compound movements are actually going to release testosterone. Anytime you do something like squat, bench press, deadlift, any heavy compound lift with a bar is going to raise your testosterone because you're recruiting more muscles in your body than just the muscle you're working. So when you do hypertrophy training, you're training just one muscle group. When you do heavy compound lifts like bench, squat, deadlifts, you're training your whole body, and that's going to give you a testosterone release. And then most men are in the gym, but they're not actually training. Again, like I said earlier in this presentation, like most men go into the gym and just treat it like they're checking off a box on a list. Like, I went to the gym today, I'm good. As long as I stepped foot in the building, I'm chilling. I don't need to worry about anything. And that's not how you need to look at it. What you need to be doing is intentional training with progressive overload. That's the only protocol that's going to work for you, is every week go up a little bit in weight. That's what progressive overload is. And then you need to be training intentionally. Going into the gym knowing you just want to fucking get it. Just get that weight, pick it up, grow those muscles. And then your pre-workout dependency signals a deeper problem, because you've actually been training your brain to actually rely on these chemicals and believe that in order to have a good workout, you need to have these chemicals in your body. So you need to go into the gym with the warrior mindset, not the consumer mindset. Go in there with a plan. Okay, now tan. This is my favorite because tan gives you so many health benefits and everyone looks so much better with a good tan. So it's a win-win. So when you get outside in the morning sun is actually going to raise your testosterone and your dopamine naturally. So this is something that I do every morning. First thing, I just go outside, I look at the sun. It doesn't have to be long. I try and hit 30 minutes. At the minimum, you should try and do 15 minutes. So the UV from the morning sunlight on your skin is actually going to start triggering the hormonal response that you need as a man in the morning. So when you get sunlight into your eyes, it turns off your body's natural melatonin production. And it's going to tell your body like, hey, it's time to wake up. Start producing testosterone. Let's start producing ATP for your lifts. Let's start moving, it gets you going in the morning. Sunlight in the morning is also going to increase your energy by increasing your mitochondrial energy. UV increases mitochondrial energy. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So you're literally giving your body power at the cellular level just by going outside. And you're going to want to break these up into 3 outdoor sections every day. So once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and then once at sunset. Sunset is going to help your sleep the most. When you see that red light at sunset, it's going to tell your body, hey, sun's going down. It's time to start producing melatonin. So lowering cortisol, melatonin actually lowers your cortisol. So when you see that sunlight, you'll produce melatonin, lower cortisol. Remember, when cortisol's low, you can produce testosterone. So there's just so many benefits to going outside. You don't need to be living like a modern cave dweller. This is 2026, and we thought the caveman were living in caves, but we're the ones living in caves inside all day, living under fluorescent light. And see, fluorescent lights will actually fuck up your circadian rhythm because your body will take that light as sunlight. So when you sit under fluorescent light from 8 to 6 at night, then your body thinks you've been under like high noon sun all day, and you're not actually getting the benefits from the UV like you would get a tan. You'd be getting energy. You're just getting the alert signal from the light. You're not actually getting any of the full health benefits. But I just want to go into a little more about how sleep goes into tan and why sleep is so important, because sleep is really the only recovery supplement you need. Like, sleep is when your body actually goes into recovery mode. So what do most of you do? Well, you sit under blue light until midnight. You eat these melatonin gummies as a crutch, or you drink alcohol, a nightcap to go to bed. You drink caffeine, which actually fucks up your morning or your sleep. It may give you energy in the morning, but at night it's going to actually fuck up your sleep, because caffeine has a half-life of up to 12 hours. So when you drink it at even 9 in the morning, it's still going to be in your body at 9 at night. And then we have broken circadian rhythms. Like, just just not having a set sleep schedule is one of the worst things you can do for your muscle growth. Just not having a bedtime and going to sleep whenever. So what do warriors actually do? So instead of being under blue light or staring at their phone all day, they actually go out and watch the sunset, or in the morning, watch the sunrise. At night, you need to dim the lights. At night, I do red light mode, so you can literally turn your phone into red light mode. So if you want to be on your phone, you can still do it. Just change it into red light mode. Sleep 8 hours in a cold, dark room. Cold and dark is very important. I promise you, you will sleep better if it's cold and dark in the room. And then wake up with the morning sun. So try and stay away from an alarm. If you do sleep in a room where there's not a lot of outdoor light coming in and you don't have to make it dark and you can wake up with the sunlight, that's going to be absolutely optimal. And then beef. So we've been through gym, tan, and beef. But now beef is like one of the biggest pillars because it's what feeds your muscles. So your ancestors were not deficient. They did not have diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune issues. They didn't have irritable bowel. They were fine. They thrived. And they ate mainly red meat, eggs, drank raw milk. They had bone broth. Well, they ate the bones, but the modern equivalent to that would be bone broth, which is going to give you collagen, which is good for your skin. It's going to heal your ligaments. It's like you want to eat nose to tail because you need all of the vitamins from all of the different meat sources here. Red meat is bioavailable protein, hemi-iron, zinc, B12, creatine. It's all natural. This is everything in red meat is going to be inside of every muscle building protein supplement. This is literally what they're trying to replicate, is all the vitamins in red meat. And then you have eggs. Eggs have cholesterol, which are the direct precursor to testosterone. Your body needs cholesterol to make testosterone. Eggs also have branch chain amino acids. So that's the building blocks to proteins. So that's why eggs and red meat are just like number one. They have everything you need to build muscle. And then you have raw milk, full fat, nutrient dense, ancestrally appropriate. Most people drink skim milk just for flavor. If you're going to drink milk, get all the benefits from raw milk. When they pasteurize regular milk, which means they heat it up so it's safe to sell, they cook out all the nutrient dense vitamins and minerals. They also cook out the enzymes that actually help you break down the milk and actually process it through your body. And then there's tallow and bone broth. These are all fat soluble vitamins. Again, collagen. It's also going to repair your gut lining, which is super important in building your physique, because your gut lining is what takes the nutrients from your food and then puts them in your body. If your gut lining isn't working or isn't optimal, you can be eating all this healthy food, but it just goes straight through you. You're just shitting it out and not actually absorbing it if you don't eat this bone broth and actually have a healthy gut microbiome. But that's it for beef. Now, I just want to tell you guys, I'm not anti-supplement. I am in a way. I'm anti peptide, anti-hormones, I would say really everything but creatine. I think if you need to take like magnesium every now and then to go to sleep, that's fine. But I'm really just not anti-supplement. I'm just anti-dependency. Like I was saying with caffeine, you just don't want to use it as a crutch. Like use creatine as a tool if you want to build muscle. Use magnesium, again, like I was saying, before bed if you're deficient. And D3 or K2. These are really only in the winter months when you're not going to have sunlight. But really, you don't want to lean on any of these as a crutch. You want to know that without any of these supplements, you could have the physique that you dream of. And really, without any of these supplements, you can achieve it. The supplement industry just wants to trick you and make you think that you need all these supplements to actually make any progress. But a good rule of thumb to use before you take these supplements is just say, would a man 10,000 years ago need this to be jacked, lean, and mentally sharp? If no, then just max out the gym, tan, and beef. Those things we went over. But if you're thinking like, yeah, caveman probably would use creatine to get a little extra jacked, or magnesium if he had it to go to bed easier, which I think he would, then use it. But you just don't want to rely on these things like I was relying on caffeine. Just know that you can do this all naturally, and then you can add in little things like creatine to just make it even better. Remember, it's a supplement, so it adds on. Or you add in magnesium before bed to get better sleep. But your sleep's already dialed. You know that the magnesium would just make it even better. So you don't want to rely on them. Just use them for your benefit. And really what you have to think about is the peasant buys supplements, but the warrior earns his body. So if you're working that 9 to 5 and you're living inside a system designed to keep you comfortable, dependent, and consuming, just remember when you're at work next time and you hear that Athletic Greens commercial or the creatine gummies commercial, it's all marketing, bro. You don't need that shit. All you need is you and your body. The warrior's path is not comfortable. It is sunlight when it's cold. It's red meat when everyone else around you eats chicken salad. It's lifting without pre-workout when everyone else is drinking pre-workout right before the gym, but you just fucking do it anyways. That's what a warrior is all about, brother. It's your ancestral reset. Get you back to your biological sovereignty. So if this hit you, bro, and I know it did because so many modern gym bros are lost, just making no progress in the gym. Most men will just keep buying pre-workout and keep coping and keep thinking that that's going to be the answer. But no, you want to start with the 4 free things: gym, tan, beef, and remember, sleep is in tan. And then track your results for 30 days without any supplements. Eat in a caloric deficit, track your food, only eat animal-based food, go outside 3 times a day, and go to the gym. I promise you, you will achieve results, brother. You don't need all this bullshit supplements to achieve any results in the gym. But if you do want to go deeper, brother, I do offer one-on-one coaching. And this isn't for guys that have never worked out and have no idea what they're doing in the gym. I mean, clients come to me who've been working out for 3 years and they've made more progress in 3 months than they have in 3 years, just because I have expertise. I've been doing this for 8 years now, building my body, being in the gym culture. I can just get you to your end goal faster because I've been through it. Instead of you going through the trial and error, you can use me as your coach to get you there quicker, bring you the results that you actually want. So if you're interested in implementing these ancestral tenets, gym, tan, and beef, and changing your physique, brother, I'd love to see if the Gym, Tan, Beef program is right for you. We can hop on a one-on-one coaching qualification call. You can find the link in the description below. See if it's even a good program for you. See if we've even be good working together. I'd love to see if I can help you, brother. That's all I had today. Gym, Tan, Beef out. Go outside, get your tan, go eat some beef, or go to the gym, brother.